Roblox just did one of the most unexpected things yesterday, and honestly, I think the worst part is that I expected this even less than I expected them to ban the official teddy. They spoke to us. I know that is the bare minimum, but with Roblox, communication is rarer than a functioning website, than a website that doesn't go down, a platform that actually works. And when it comes to actually explaining the reasoning behind an update, that is basically unheard of. There are very few times that this has happened. We could probably count them on one hand. Yet somehow that is exactly what they have done this time. We all know by now that Roblox renamed Friends to Connections, but what we didn't know was their reason behind it. That is what their latest statement is supposed to be. An explanation for their decision to rename Friends to Connections. Now, spoiler alert, it doesn't actually explain anything. In fact, it somehow makes the whole thing even worse and even more confusing. It's confusing, laughable, and honestly kind of entertaining, which I guess is the only thing they got right. You know, at least they gave us something to laugh at. Oh, and of course, they didn't release this explanation in a proper announcement or even in a standalone post. No, they buried it somewhere completely random because apparently putting things where people can actually find them is just too much to ask. It was almost a week ago that I made a video about Roblox renaming Friends to Connections, and that was only because they had announced the change would be coming, and a few people here and there were receiving the update. Personally, I didn't get it until today, and now it just slapped me right across the face. Roblox will no longer allow me to have friends. From now on, I am only allowed to have connections. So they started their explanation by saying, we want to explain the thinking behind our decision to rename Friends to Connections, which is already off to a terrible start. They want to explain the thinking behind their decision. That, my friends, is always a recipe for disaster with Roblox, because let's be honest, it's quite clear they don't actually put any thinking into their decisions whatsoever. They go on to say, the friend system was a straightforward way for users to connect, play together, and communicate, which, yes, no one is arguing with that. That has always been one of the biggest parts of Roblox. Making friends is literally a core part of the platform. But you might want to sit down for the next part, because this is where I actually started laughing out loud, because I feel like if we don't laugh, we will cry. They said, as our platform grew, users weren't just friending close acquaintances, they were adding people for shared game objectives, collaborations, or general interest. This meant the term friend became a broad umbrella that didn't accurately reflect the varying levels of trust and familiarity within a user's network. Sorry? I'm sorry, what did they just say? Their reasoning is that the word friends doesn't, and I quote, accurately reflect the varying levels of trust and familiarity between users, but somehow the word connections does. That is literally what they just said. You truly cannot make this up. They couldn't have given us a worse explanation if they tried their very best. They continued with, the average Roblox user's friend list includes a wide variety of people, some real life friends they know and trust like co-workers or classmates, and some they may not know well and rarely interact with. We want people on Roblox to be able to differentiate between these acquaintances and their closer, deeper connections, which still absolutely does not justify renaming Friends to Connections. A long time ago, back when I joined Roblox in 2011, we had something called the Best Friends feature. It was a separate section from your friends list, and it worked exactly how you are imagining it did. You could add someone as a friend and they would go to your friends list. If you added them as a best friend, they would go to your best friends list, which sat above the rest of them. That was a perfectly effective way of, to quote Roblox, differentiating between acquaintances and closer, deeper connections. It was also a very loved feature, which of course meant they just had to remove it in 2014, because if Roblox ever does something that actually makes the community happy, they absolutely cannot and will not stand for it. They also said the blanket friend label people implies too much about what the connection means and doesn't allow for this differentiation. Okay, so bring back the best friend feature, or here is a wild idea. Just let people add whoever they want as a friend and decide for themselves what that truly means. I can almost guarantee that not a single person in the entire history of Roblox has ever once complained about not being able to differentiate between real friends and people they don't talk to very often on their Roblox friends list. On my own friends list, I have a few people that I talk to every day and other people that I probably haven't talked to in like 7 years. It's really not that big of a deal. I've never wanted to differentiate between them, it's just a Roblox friends list. The whole explanation is one of the most ridiculous things they have ever put out, and that is saying something. So this was not a change for us. This was not and never will be something that the community wanted. The renaming of friends to connections was purely for Roblox and maybe for their investors. That's it. And their explanation somehow made it all even worse. So please, the comments is the place to go. Tell me what you guys think about Roblox responding and giving us their reasoning as to why they renamed friends to connections. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.